I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Try Facebook. Okay. I'm on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously with no small amount of effort, I must tell you. There's a piece of encoding equipment that you can attach to your computer. It only costs about $400. And it will then send the same picture up to both YouTube and Facebook. But seeing as how the music business has slowed down a little bit recently, I don't think I'm going to invest in that right now. I think I'm going to just take my time, do it my way, and say good evening to everyone. Please check in and let me know that you're there. Who's there? No, there's lots of people. I'm just looking to see who's there. I have to bend over and see. The list is getting bigger and bigger. I was going to be rehearsing today, and I told somebody I was going to rehearse, and they said, "Don't rehearse. The best part is watching you learn how to do it." So, okay, I guess I'll go along with that. Bill Crow, hey, Bill, how are you? How you feeling? Still lugging that bass around, huh? In a little restaurant in Ireland, lots of jazz musicians in the place. Dizzy Gillespie wanders in, everybody knows it's him. Everybody knows his face. Dizzy walks right over to our table because there's lots of folks that he is glad to see. Dizzy says hello to everybody in the restaurant except for me. He does not recognize me. He never does. He never has. He thinks that maybe I'm somebody's agent or a dentist who is really into jazz. But I've worked with Diz on numerous occasions. We played together 5 times at Carnegie Hall, the Junior B. But here in front of all these people, I want to impress. I'm the one that Dizzy can't recall. I know he knows a lot of people. His social life is most complex. And every year he sees a million faces. The entire world is on his Rolodex. We all take so much pride in knowing Dizzy. Knowing having him know you must feel so fine. How I know the name John Burks Gillespie. If only John Burks could remember mine. myself, I've known a lot of people. Oh no. I myself have met a lot of people whose names I sometimes can't recall. I sense their disappointment when I don't remember them at all. They say, come on, Jay, we met in San Francisco. Ba-da-boom. How could you possibly forget? I smile at them meekly. They get angry and upset. But I've worked with these on numerous occasions. We played together on a TV show. But here in front of all these people, I want to impress. Dizzy doesn't say hello. I'm the one he doesn't seem to know. Dizzy doesn't say hello. I never played that song with the bow, but somebody asked me, my friend Nicky Royal, I think, asked me if I could play with the bow, and I said, well, I do a lot of it, but I don't ever do it, my songs unaccompanied with the bow, but I'm going to try tonight. Slam Stewart was a bass player who used to sing and play. He would bow and play, and he would go. He would sing an octave above. But gee, he was good. And the other day, I mean, I never heard him do anything but bowed solos. And the other day, I heard him playing with Slim and Slam. You got to hear Laughin'. I think it's the Laughin' Blues, or I'm not sure what it's called. But Slam plays a pizzicato solo and sings along with it. I never heard him do that. He was going. He had a growly sort of tone when he sang. But then when he sang with Slam, he actually, or Slim Gaillard, when he sang vocally, he had a very nice voice. And those of you watching on YouTube, if you want to write me, please write a little note and let's see what's going on. Oh my heavens, look at all these people. Chuck Kennedy, Tommy Bridges, Joe Sawyer, Dave Morgan is watching. Oh my God, so many people watching. Oh, look, Lordy. A lot of people watching. That better be good. Over here at the other camera. I'll turn it over here so you. People writing in. Bill Crow, laughing in rhythm. Thank you, laughing in rhythm. Bill Crow knew exactly what I was talking about. He knew it was laughing in rhythm. How's it going? Did something like it. Slim and Slam together. And then Slim sings a couple Zooty, really zooty, the bridges are as I do the kind of pussy fun. And I forget what happens. You've got to hear it. It's a riot. Mine's not a riot. Mine's is a poor attempt to give you a general idea of what they're doing. So I hope you're all well tonight. I'm just going to take a look. The sound is amazing, says Tulis. The sound is amazing, is it? Well, yeah, I have a little camera that I'm using. And if I show it to you, then you won't see it. But it's a little webcam, and it's sitting on my piano. So I'm stuck in a house like the rest of you, like most of you. I hope the hell you're stuck in the house. Imagining that everyone's got the coronavirus, including myself, so I don't have it, but I'm imagining that, so I have to be very careful when I go out. I'm wearing gloves in the house, latex gloves. My wife informed me that I've got to stop wearing so many because we're running out, and they probably won't be delivered too soon. But, we're taking all the precautions that you have to take. And one of the precautions is you don't want to listen to press conferences. It'll drive you a little batty. But it's a very serious situation, and we all know this. It's not a joke. It's nothing to joke about. So we all get together, and because I don't really expect there to be any gigs for bass players for, I can't even imagine when we're going to walk out of this house and go, oh boy, let's go down to Birdland and play. And people are going to pile in there. People are going to be so afraid for such a long time. Things are going to change. There's going to be a big change in things. And I don't know what the change is going to be, but this is not going to wear off easily. Walking around afraid of everybody else's germs. That's not going to go away too quickly, I think. I don't know. Anyway, let's see another song. Oh, here's the song. Here's the song I was going to do with the bow. Because I used to do this song at the Blue Note with my trio at the Blue Note brunch. I did brunch for 10 years down there, from 1986 to 1996. I started when Reagan was president, and then I ended up with Clinton as president. So George Bush the first came and went while I was playing my brunch at the Blue Note. But I used to this used to be an opening song. It would go, I guess it's plain to see that something's coming over me. Once I was fancy free, but then it captured me. What is this thing about you? Why can't I live without you? And I used to play it like a and the band would play lots of solos, and everybody say, oh, good opening song. Then, for some reason, one night, or at some time in the past couple of years, I said, what kind of ballad would that make? I guess it's plain to see that something's coming over me. Once I was fancy free, but now you've captured me. But now you've captured, big ridiculous line. Once I was fancy free, but now you've captured me. What is this thing about you? Why can't I live without you? I wonder if I shouldn't try to just forget about you. But that is not about to be. I see I'll simply have to suffer the consequences. I let down my defenses. Hear what I'm saying, baby. No question, I know maybe. This time, I know it's for real. Maybe I should run away to some exotic island and stay far away as I can from the plane. Sit and gaze into the ocean till I lose this crazy notion that we two might ever be the same. But that is not about to be. I see I simply have to suffer the consequences. I let down my defenses. I let down my defenses. I let down my defenses. Hear what I'm saying, baby. No question and no maybe. This time I know it's for real. Maybe I should run away to some exotic island and stay far away as I can from the flame. Sit and gaze into the ocean till I lose this crazy notion that we two might ever be the same. But that is not about to be. I see I'll simply have to suffer the consequences. I let down my defenses here. What I'm saying, baby, no question and no maybe. This time I know it's for real. Hear what I'm saying, baby. No question and no maybe. This time I know it's for real. When I when I would play the blue note, I would play it so fast I didn't really have to master the melody. But as a ballad, you've got to get every note right. And if you don't do it at least every week, as you can see, some of those very interesting melody notes, which are, excuse me, my jeans. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me. That's better. The melodies are all sort of like it's a piece that and you're playing a diminished scale on it. And then so that's just the whole exercise in the diminished scales. And that's why nobody sings the song except for me, because it's too damn hard. But that's all right. Somebody will do it. Somebody will work on that song and master it, because there's people who can do it. I know a bunch of singers who can do it if they put their mind to it. Torme could have done it. I worked with Mel Torme for 10 years. First of all, I did it with Mike Renzi and Donny Osborne. Then I did it with John Campbell and Donny Osborne and myself. Then John Coliani and myself. And that's when I decided I had to stay back in New York. I traveled enough. I didn't really travel much. Torme wouldn't take me over the Mississippi River. Somehow the Mississippi River was the end of my reign. And with him, if it went to Mississippi, he'd use his West Coast guys. Can you imagine such a thing? But he had very good West Coast people, so it didn't really matter. But he would have messed it up. He could have done that. How would Mel have done it? I guess it's plain to see that. I guess it's plain to see that something. No, something's coming. Oh, our voice texture is so different. Over me. Once I was fancy free, but now you've captured me. Captured me. It's just an A flat triad. Captured me, but it's over D. Captured me. Once I was fancy free, but now you've captured me. Takes working. You have to think of it. It's a very good vocal exercise. If anybody wants it, I'll send you the music to it, and you can struggle with it. Just let me know. jleonhart@mac.com. Just somehow let me know. Anybody who needs For Real. The name of the song is For Real. Okay, that's enough of that. Although I do miss Mel. I enjoyed him. He was a nice man. He could be hell with big bands, though. The way he rehearsed a big band embarrassed me because he would just. He enjoyed antagonizing them. Oh, what do we want to do tonight? We did. I practiced this today, so it can't possibly work. I had a one-man show. I still have it, as a matter of fact, although it's very much in. Oops, there's my phone. Sorry, I got to go get my phone. My wife's calling me, and I left my phone out there. Damn it all. Excuse me for a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I got to get my phone. Are you here, John? Oh, okay, it's your phone. Oh, so it was my phone. So where's my phone? No technical. Oh, there it is, right on the amplifier. Excuse me. It's right on my amplifier. I thought it was her phone. It was mine. Who called? We have to find out who called. Nobody called. It was her phone. Missed calls. No. My brain rang. Because my ringer's off. I don't want to interrupt my own show, which I didn't, of course. Where was I? Talking about Torme. Oh, yeah. In my one-man show, I used to call it the bassless. And I would say to the people, I'd say, people really wonder, where did the bass come from? Who made the first bass? Well, my research, limited as it has been, shows that Gasparo di Salo, an Italian, certainly not an Irishman, made the first bass of this proportion. They used to be huge. And he was the one who decided, no, they can be smaller than that. And it was back in Italy of old. Back in Italy of old, when men were brave and bold, and Columbus had just sailed across the seas. When ladies from Verona and gentlemen from Bologna was placed lutes and mandolins across their knees. They had lots of lutes and lyres, they didn't use amplifiers. It was a civil age. Violins and cellos were played by maids and fellows, but composers like Vivaldi were the rage. The year was 1550, and orchestras were nifty, and violinists dearly loved to bow notes. But the ladies and their fellows and their violins and cellos found they couldn't reach the low notes. So one Gasparo di Salo did his intuition follow and set out to build a giant violin. The concept was outrageous, nonetheless contagious, so inspired. He did begin, he did begin, he did begin, he did begin, he did begin. He whittled and he glued, he boiled and he brewed, he varnished, chipped and chiseled, bent and treated. Wah, 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 wah. He worked with great endeavor and get discouraged never, until one day he found the task completed. Yes, one day he was through, and he brought it out to view, a violin like none had seen before. Its tone was rich and deep, right down where the fishy sleep, and oh, the depth it added to the score. To the score. People looked at it in awe, and they wondered what they saw, and they thought poor Gasparo had lost his mind. The man could not be serious, the man must be delirious. He started to unwind. Old Gasparo faced the facts. No one's going to play that axe. It's too heavy, it's too large, it's too clumsy, it's too big. You're gonna need a barge to get it to the gig. I didn't do the rhymes right, but that's okay. And it sounds quite, though it sounds quite profound, just to lug the thing around has got to be a nightmare in logistics. The only willing players will be drunken dragon slayers, gladiators, flagellators, and sadistics. Then the local folks started making up bass jokes. Had to happen, don't you know? New jokes began to hatch like, hey buddy, got a match. Well, you should have taken up the piccolo. But Gasparo was no faker, but a real fine violin maker. He was no fraud or public menace. Wah, 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 wah. He just kept on smiling as he watched his giant violin soon become the rage of Rome and Venice. Do, 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 do. And here we are today, many centuries away, and Gasparo's bass violin has made it through. Well, you can pluck or you can blow notes, but you gotta have those low notes. And thanks to Gasparo, we do. Gasparo de Salo, here's to you. Gasparo, here's to you. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, you got me low notes, da-da-da-da notice. And thanks to Gasparo, we do. Yes, you gotta have those low notes. Something with the low notes. Do, 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 do. Gasparo de Salo, I thank you. Woo, 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 woo. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gasparo. Gasparo. I get distracted during the songs. You see, I'm sitting in a room all by myself, and you don't see an audience, and so you're not focused on an audience. You're focused on, what's the lamp? That lamp over there is getting old. What's a snare drum doing up on the balcony there? Whose snare drum? That's Terry Clark's snare. Terry, I have your snare drum. You still have it if you want. It's a nice snare drum. But I do. Marty, if you're tuned in, tell Terry I have his snare drum. If he wants it, I'll send it to him. Here, 25 years later. Let me just. I'm just going to see who's calling in and saying stuff, because people are saying all kinds of crazy things here. Your viewers, hold it. Just, you don't have any viewers yet. Try sharing your broadcast. Okay, share broadcast. What am I? I don't have any viewers. I got 57 people watching and And what do you call it? Facebook just said, you don't have any viewers. Alex Lyons, Victor. Look at all these people. Look at all these people. Alan Lyons. Hi, Jay. Hi, Alan. See, you didn't get there. He's there. Oh, the list goes on and on. Gary Anderson. Gary. Oh. How are you, Gary? Michael Clemente. Julio Fernandez. Good. Right about that. Greetings from Vegas. So good to hear you. Thank you, Gary. I think about you a lot, as a matter of fact. Chuck Kennedy. There's a lot of people. And over here in the question world, Bill Crow, hi Jay. Bill Crow, laughing in rhythm, thank you. The sound is amazing. Is it really? Stephen Goldberg, hello from Queens. Hi, Stephen. Bill Crow, did you know that if you drop the S in slaughter laughter on you get laughter on 10th Avenue? No, I didn't. That's pretty good though. Laughter on 10th Avenue. Da, 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 da. That's pretty good. Bill Crow is quite a writer. He's written several books about musicians and things that they've said to each other in tales. And every month, in the Union paper here in New York, he writes an article quoting things that people have said or stories. And I mean, more stories that people had happened to in the music world. And they're phenomenal. I don't know whether you make books out of them or not, Bill, but is that where your material comes from? You might as well. It's awfully good. Bill, did you? Teresa Rose, I enjoy hearing about your life's experience as a musician. Please continue. Forget the cell phone. Nick Royal, really like your songs with the solo bass. Well, thank you, Nikki. I feel Nick's been tuning in the whole time. Welcome to the chat. Learn more. If I press that button, I know I'm going to regret it, so I'm not going to do it. Let's just Tony, somebody, Gary Anderson. Don't overlook Major Holly. You can't overlook Major Holly, right? Major Holly. Who else sang and played the bass? No, I knew Major. I knew Major pretty well. And he would sing his version of singing and playing the bass. Oops, cut myself. There's just blood. There's no problem. Too many baby aspirins. What's his name? Major Holly. He would go. Matter of fact, he did it on a famous record by I forgot his name. The guy who produced all the Michael Jackson records, Quincy Jones. Quincy. There's one of those famous records that Quincy made. Major's on it, and it sounds great. But when I heard him doing it, it always felt so rough. I said, Major, that's not going to be I was wrong. He would sing right. Is that? No, it's still not. Is that the same octave? Yeah, I think that is like having octave trouble. Yeah, I can't sing. I can't even sing that real well. The low B flat on the bass is too low. My voice. No, I'm mute. I can't tell which one it is. Any voters? Am I singing? Am I singing the exact octave? No, there it is. That's the button. That's the octave. That's the same note, and I can't. I believe that's how it goes. Major would sing. Trying to a little bit of Slam Stewart in there. And I did not do this consciously, to tell you the truth. I didn't. I just sang all the time when I played, and I really didn't do it consciously. But I'm not afraid to say that Slam Stewart is a big influence on me. And now that I listen to him, I feel like it's a legitimate thing to. Nah, who cares if it's legitimate? Anyway, now that we've gotten that far, and I think I should do another song. Now, what song should I do for my little list? Oh, I know. I'm going to do this one. This was one of the more recorded songs I've ever written. I mean, besides myself, and I've recorded it 131 times. But Robert Frost did write in settings beautiful and rustic. He wrote of rolling hills and green terrain. While poor me, I must do my writing in the chaos of the city, sometimes even on a subway train. How am I to ever learn about the woodlands and the falling leaves of autumn and such things sublime, when I must spend all of my life trucking around this dirty city, doing what I can to earn a dime, 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 dime. How did Robert Frost make payments on that little country house of his? Where did he get the dough? Could he go down to the country store and sell a poem saying, "Here's a nice one. I wrote about the snow." Surely now he must have. Bob, why don't you take a long, long walk and write whatever pops into your head. She say, "Bobby, don't you worry about the mortgage. No, 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 no. Don't you worry about the bills that you get. Bobby, why don't you go write a poem about the fences? Yeah, about the neighbors and the rolling hills. Bobby, don't you worry about the dishes. Bobby, don't you touch those pans. Bobby, now it is not good that an artist like yourself should be walking around this world with dishpan hands." So you see, old Bob was free to follow through his fancies, wander through the woods behind the muse. Boy, if I had Bobby's life, I could follow through my fancies. Oh, to be in Bobby's shoes. Boy, if I had Bobby's life, I could be a hero. Go out and find my fortune and my fame. Only trouble is, I hear from people who have found it, is that everything in life stays just the same. Same. Just the same. A lot of people, that may be my most recorded song. Let me see who recorded it. Blossom Dearie. Oh, Blossom Dearie recorded it. Oh, can you imagine that? To have something in her catalog. Karen Allison had a big hit. She sings it all. Gary Burton and Rebecca Paris recorded it. and others have too, but I kind of forget. Um, I was thinking I sent a song to Diana Krall. I can't think what song it was. What song did I send? Oh, I sent to this one. Baby, I've got the blues since I got the news. I did this last night, but I'll do it again tonight. You've heard from the muse, now you're in Santa Cruz. Without me, I'm feeling so bad, feeling so sad. And I wish I was dead when I hear what you said about me. Baby, I feel like dying. Baby, I feel like crying. Oh no, oh no. Tell me it is not so. Tell me this empty bed is all in my head and I'm only dreaming. Tell me this empty bed is all in my head and I'm only dreaming. Do, do, do. Ah, 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 ah. Do, 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 do. Baby, I feel like dying. Baby, feel like crying. Oh no, oh no. Tell me it is not so. Tell me this empty bed is all in my head and I'm only dreaming. Tell me this empty bed is all in my head and I'm only dreaming. Down, so wah, 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 wah. Dreaming. Well, I guess Diane's not watching tonight, but Carl, listen, if you're listening, you should do that song. You know, you should. There's no reason. That's right, in my humble opinion, right down your alley. You could do it beautifully. Oh well. Let me see. So that song came. Oh yeah. If you want to know, the most successful song I ever wrote was the craziest song I ever wrote. Let me see. I don't think I have it, but it was recorded. Where I don't know where they. Oh, there's a. I have a program from Carnegie Hall when Audra McDonald performed there, and she. This was a good 10 years ago, and at least maybe close to 12, 15, and she included one of my songs in her program. That one that she had recorded that was very popular. It was getting a lot of airplay in certain circles in the cabaret sort of. I don't know. I don't know who was playing, who wasn't playing it, but it was got a lot of play. But it was there listed among the rest. She did everything was the big major composers: Gershwin, Berlin, Jerome Kern, Richard Rodgers. And right in the middle is this song called "Beat My Dog" by Jay Leonhart. Same size print as everybody else. Well, I didn't realize how crazy it looked at the time. At the time, I was just so proud that my name would be included amongst those composers. But then I realized everybody in the audience said, beat my dog? What kind of freak is this guy? Well, it goes like this. You beat my dog, you eat my frog, you drink up on my gin. You may at the moon and you sleep till noon and you never tell me where you've been. I buy you clothes, I fix your nose, or I steal your ruby rings. You break the rules, you pee in pools, do outrageous things. Woman, I lie, I cheat, I steal, I cry for you, woman. Woman, I'd lay down my life and die for you, woman. Well, you take my car, you drive so far, come back with the tank on E. Your hair all messed and you have dressed and you just look at me. You're out all night, you come in tight, you fall down on my bed. And there you lay for all the next day, for all I know you dead. Well, woman, I lie, I cheat, I steal, I cry for you, woman. Woman, I'd lay down my life and die for you, woman. Well, now listen, friend, this has got to end. We got to have ourselves a talk. Things got to change, got to rearrange. Somebody got to take a walk. Now I ain't one to put down fun, but this time you've gone too far. You smoke my hash, you spend my cash. Who the hell you think you are? You beat my dog, you eat my frog, drink up on my gin. You lay at the moon and you sleep till noon and you never tell me where you've been. I don't know why I even tried to change the status quo. Cause you break the rules, you pee in pools. Still I love you so pretty baby. Still I love you so pretty baby. Still I love you so pretty baby. Still I love you so. That's my most famous song. I mean, famous, you know. This, I think my most famous song is this one. Take my seat aboard the plane, and what is this I see? Leonard Bernstein comes aboard and sits right next to me. First class New York to LA, some things just work out right. I'll be sitting next to Leonard Bernstein this whole flight. Maybe I should just act like I do not recognize him. Be real cool and do my best not to antagonize him. Now we're rolling down the runway, next stop is LA. I'm nonchalant like I ride next to Lenny every day. Naturally, I turn to him against my own advice. Introduce myself and find that Lenny's very nice. Soon we start to chat and drink and talk about our lives. We talk about our children and our wives. What a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to LA. Soon we're chatting, drinking, talking like the very best of pals. Talking music, life, art, death, root canals. Now he's interrupting me, but really that's okay. Cause he's a lovely fellow and he's got a lot to say. I recite some songs I wrote, he recites them back. For poetry and music, he seems to have a knack. He tells me that his new show closed and now he's feeling beat. And he's not used to dealing with defeat. But what a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to LA. He does the London Times crossword, 10 minutes and he's through. Does the puzzle with his pen. I do not have a clue. What an intellectual, but a warm and friendly guy. We talk about the world below as we sail through the sky. Finally, I feel the airplane starting to descend, and I know this lovely day is coming to an end. Put our trays and seat backs up just like you're supposed to do. Land and bid my friend a fond adieu. What a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to LA. What a lovely fellow, though really I must say, I've not heard from Lenny since I left him in LA. Not a goddamn word from Lenny since I left him in LA, in LA, in LA, in LA. I know that song, don't I? I've sung that more than any other. Tony Bennett said that was my San Francisco. My San Francisco. But he comes into all the clubs where we work in New York. And so you get to know Tony. And he said, Jay, if you just do one song, that's the one you want to do. You're San Francisco. Okay, Tony. Not quite as successful as San Francisco, but it's some people know the song around the world, and it gets some play. Nobody does it except me. I mean, so I'm not. The royalties are not flowing in, but you can't win. You can't lose them all. I guess you can't lose them all. I'm going to sit down for a minute and see, just because I want to acknowledge everybody who's tuning in and saying hi and all that kind of stuff. So let's see if I can do it in some orderly fashion that I can stay on both cameras. Well, there's a lot of, Michael Gibbs. Hey, Michael Gibbs. Is that the same Michael Gibbs I knew and loved? Hi, Stephen Kravitz. How are you? Kenzie Carpenter. Carolyn Leonhart. Carolyn Leonhart. She's a famous singer. She's a great singer. That's the same one. Tulis McCall. Hi, Tulis. Hi, Grandpa. Thank you. Roger Trim. Don Brown. Oh, Carolyn requests Schadenfreude. She wants to hear Schadenfreude. Hey, Michael and Benny, where are you, Michael? I'm going to wave to all you guys because I really love seeing you. Boom. Wave. That's what I can do. I mean, it's a callous little deal, but it's, hey, Michael, how are you? Haven't seen you in ages. I'm still playing the same songs. I got a few new ones. Mary Marino. Mary, how are you? I guess Tomoko told you to say hello. John Hammer. Oh, my. Wait a minute. See, people are starting to talk to each other. While I'm sitting here working my tail off, they see each other's names and they start texting back and forth. And this thing becomes just what do they call it? A clipboard or something like that. That post board where everybody talks to everybody else. And I'm sitting there, I'm singing in the background. Let's see, Teresa Franceschi, Nick Royal, I like your song, the solo bass. Bill Crow, do you know the record that Slam and Major made together? No. Applause. Really? No. Sometimes I think I got nothing in common with the rest of the human race. Yeah, right. That's a good one. I should do that one too. Teresa, this song is fun. We need something like these days. I don't know which song you're talking about, but I'm sure it was. Is there any way we can nominate Jay for a Grammy for these performances? Please. Oh. I'm sure there is. It's best performance during the coronavirus pandemic on YouTube. That's it. That'll do it. Believe me, there's a lot better. Teresa Ronkowski, we're clapping, but you can't hear it. You're not singing to the lamp. I'm not singing to the lamp. Where? I don't quite get it. See, you understand, I've got two. I'm going to hold this up for a second so that they can see it. I'm also doing YouTube. No, this is Facebook. And you're YouTube. You guys are YouTube, and this is Facebook. So I'm trying to cater to my two lovely audiences. Terry Gibbs, hey. Oh, Terry, I'm glad I saw that. Attention! Attention! Oh, I'm going to tell Donna, Terry. I'm going to tell Donnie that. Mary Beck, yeah. Did you? I spoke to Joe. I did a song by Joe. Joe played on yesterday. I talked about how brilliant he was, how I miss him, how what a brilliant man he was. Wow, the guitarist Joe Beck. We made a couple records together, and I think back his playing. Nobody plays like that. Let's see. Nick Nave is watching. Hey, Nakum. Steve, hi, Steve. I'm going to say hi to all you folks, even though some of you I don't really know very well. Will Farnham. Yeah, I know Will Farnham. All these people. Let's see what's going on over here. Stephen Goldberg, Teresa, we weren't clapping. We could hear you. Say something. I want to thank all you guys up there. It's now 7:56, and I'm going to close with my daughter's request. Marcy, Beck. Hey, Marcy, how are you? Sue Matsuka. Sue. Oh, Fukoshi, how are you? How are you? Wow. Sorry, but that's Facebook. See, this is a Facebook thing, and anytime anybody watches, they know it. On YouTube, if you don't say hello, I didn't know you were there. But that's okay. You're allowed to be. You're allowed to have your privacy. You can watch it. Do it. Deal with it any way you wish. Craig Snyder. Hey, Craig. Eddie Metz. Elvis Presley? No. Karen Levine, Doug Robinson, Bernie Fine. Hey, Bernie, how are you? How are you? Good. It's a cousin. Scott Elias. Hey, Scott. Eddie Metz. I'm sending those little hellos back to you guys. Listen, I'll do this later. Time's a wasting, and my YouTube audience is getting very tired of me catering to my Facebook audience and neglecting them. They're all asleep. They're all asleep on the floor now. I can see it. Is there any way we can? No, there's nothing new. Nothing new has come in. But I want to thank you, YouTubers. You sent some great stuff. And I wonder if I can get you onto Facebook in my friend deal. Why don't you make a request to me on Facebook to be friends, and then we'll see if we can't work that out. I don't know how this all works. I barely do. I know how to plug a camera in. I mean, now for my daughter, I'm going to do this, the final selection of the evening before I go and watch Rachel. I know some of you don't approve. I'm sure I shouldn't mention that. This song got written because I was stuck in a serious traffic jam in New York City, and in the process, I mean, really major league traffic jam. And there was a woman in a car behind me. It happened to be a woman. I didn't mean to be misogynistic about this, but she was a woman. And I wrote the poem not thinking I was being misogynistic. I was just writing about what happened. She was beeping her horn at me anytime if I let a car cut in a little bit, she just, don't do that. And if I should let the car go through the intersection, we were blocking like 12 intersections. If I should stop and let a car go through, she just, and pedestrians she didn't want me to have any mercy towards pedestrians. Well, then she passed me. It's somehow in this traffic jam, she passed me, and she made a rather obscene gesture to me. And that's when I knew, ooh, this is taking on another whole world. And then she pulled into an intersection, she was angry, and something, well, she didn't get hurt, but nothing good came out of that move. So I had to write this song, and see, Schadenfreude. I felt Schadenfreude. Those of you familiar with the trying to reconnect. Do we reconnect? My gracious. That was a terrible thing. The Facebook people just got cut off. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is a German word in which I've learned means that you really feel the person's pain who went through something, but inside you're happy that it wasn't you. There's a little joy going on inside of yourself. And actually, mine might have been more a feeling of revenge, now that I think about it. But no, when I passed, nobody needed that. Nobody needed this accent. So here's the song. You question me, you take me to task. What is Schadenfreude, you ask, and why do people find it so appealing? Well, Schadenfreude is a dark little void where you feel overjoyed at someone else's misfortune. It's not a generous feeling. Schadenfreude happens deep inside. It's a feeling we try to hide, this finding pleasure in another's pain. And I must admit to having enjoyed a recent moment of Schadenfreude, which now I will try to explain. You see, the traffic jam was terrible. Some found it unbearable. Patience was wearing very thin. The lady in the car behind me honked and honked just to remind me, don't let anybody else cut in. She honked and honked her vengeance, honked and honked her venom flowing, honked and honked her venom flowing, impatience growing. She honked and honked her venom flowing, honked and honked her impatience growing. She was not to be dismissed. Nonetheless, I did not react. I almost found it funny, in fact, as I watched her pound the dashboard with her fist. So here we are stuck on 9th Avenue while I'm attempting to have a new attitude about things at moments like these. While she sits behind me for 2 hours fuming, I sit here pondering spring flowers blooming, pistil stamens, ferns, and bees. She was a nuisance and she was a pain, and she was making it so very plain that I must stop being so gentle and loving. She said, you've got to stop cars from cutting in. You've got to stop all this butting in. You've got to get out there, start pushing and shoving. Then I must admit she did astound me as she swept her car around me, slipped right by, then cut in. For an extra little zinger did she flash her middle finger. And that is when the real fun did begin. With her insides churning and her road rage burning, she pulled right behind a big truck turning, resulting in a moment so bizarre. Because as it turned, the truck's rear fender did slowly, carefully, surgically render complete destruction to the front end of her car. The mashing and bashing did not happen quickly. No. It was slowly, sickly. Oh, the gnashing of teeth and the bending of steel. And it would be a total lie if I should even try to deny the Schadenfreude I started to feel. Oh, Schadenfreude, what can I say? What can we do when we feel this way? We all know it's not polite to gloat. But sometimes when under attack, the fates will toss the enemy right back down the castle wall into the moat. Oh, Schadenfreude, it is not nice for such a feeling we pay a price. Is it nice to take pleasure in another's pain? I only hope this instantaneous payback doesn't prevent her from finding her way back to a more harmonious refrain. A more harmonious refrain. When I finally managed to slowly pass by her, I did not taunt her nor evil eye her, nor so much as glance at her automobile now destroyed. I passed by the spot where it all had occurred with nary a glance or discouraging word. Oh my, Schadenfreude. Oh, Schadenfreude. Oh, Schadenfreude. Unfortunately, that's a very completely true story. Schadenfreude. Do dream. I want to thank you all. Thanks for so many people signing in and sending me nice little notes on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Now I'm going to put the bed base down here. I've trapped myself into a 12 o'clock this discussion time on YouTube every day too. I try not to play too much bass, but we end up chatting and talking and having a good time on YouTube and Facebook. So if you all want to join me, please do. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. End stream. Stream ending. This computer will probably take a week to do it. Thank you for fun. Thank you, Teresa. You're welcome. Are you sure you want to end your stream? I sure do. Go away.